Hello and welcome once again to Mr. Topic Maths and Econs channel. In this video, we will be going through commercial arithmetic BECE questions. So if you are preparing for your Lagos State BECE, this video is going to help you prepare for your commercial arithmetic questions. Without wasting further time, let's get started with the question. So question number one says that a trader bought three dozens of sachet milk. Okay, so a trader bought 3 dozens of sachet milk for 1,008 naira, as you can see there. Then he sold each of them. Pay attention to this word each. He sold each of them at each sachet basically at 35 naira. Calculate his total profit, right? So first and foremost, he bought 3 dozens of sachet milk. So that's the cost. The cost is 1,008 naira for what? For 3 dozens. Now that's the cost price. Okay, we can say cost or we can say the cost price, which I like to call CP. Now, what is the selling price? The selling price is he sold each of the sachet. Now remember that in 3 dozens, there are how many sachets? So in 1 dozen there are 12 sachets. So 3 dozens means 3 times 12, and that's going to be 36. So the selling price is 36 times the price is sold each of the sachet, which is 35 naira. So let's multiply that out. 36 times 35. 5 times 6, 30. You have 3 up there. 5 times 3, 15 plus 2, that's 18. And 3 times 6, 18. And then 1. So 3 times 3, 9 plus 1, that's 10. So if we add everything together, this becomes 0. 8 plus 8 is 16. We have 1 there. And that becomes 2. And that becomes what? 1. Right? So the total selling price of everything, how much you made from selling everything, was 1,260. So that's the selling price. And then if you're told to work out profit is basically your selling price minus your cost price. On the other way, the other way around, loss is the cost price minus selling price. Right? So since this question is all about profits, so we can just easily work that out. So our profit is basically going to be our selling price. What is our selling price? Our selling price is 1,260. 1,260. Take away our cost price, which is 1,008. So we can do this, arrange the numbers in column and subtract. So from this you have to borrow 1. This is 5. So we're going to have that to be 2. 5 take away 0. 5. 2 take away 0. That's 2. And this is 0. So our answer is just 252 naira. And that is option B. As simple as that. Now, just to add to this, right? Some question might ask you to work out the percentage profits, okay? Or the percentage loss. So percentage profit is just the profits divided by the cost price times 100 out of 1. While percentage loss is going to be the loss divided by the cost price times 100 out of 1. So whether you're calculating percentage profits or percentage loss, you should basically know that the denominator is always going to be the cost price, okay? But the numerator, for a percentage loss, your numerator is loss. For a percentage profit, your numerator is basically profit. So that's it. So if this question was a percentage profit question, all we have to do is the profit we got, 252, we divide that by the what? By the cost price, which is 1,008, and then you multiply by 100 out of 1, and then you work that out. So percentage profit, your answer will always be in percentage, okay? All right, so that brings us to the end of the first question for the multiple choice. Again, we're doing commercial arithmetic, so let's get to the next one. Okay, question number 2 says, find the interest rate if simple, find the interest rate if the simple interest on 45,000 naira for 4 years is 4,500, right? So this question is asking us to find a simple interest. Now, there is a common misconception with students here. Immediately the CDs, they start to think, oh, maybe you know, they could misinterpret, right? They could misinterpret what the principal is supposed to be, right? So as you can see in this case, the principal is the amount invested initially, right? So find the interest rate. We're looking for the interest rate. If the simple interest on, that then means what? This is our principal, okay? So principal is 45,000. Then for 4 years, we know that's the time. And then this. So they said calculate the interest rate. We're looking for the interest. We're looking for I. Okay. If the simple interest on this amount is 4,500. Are we together? So our simple interest, our rate, let me call this R. So our rate is what we're looking for. That's the interest rate. So our interest, our simple interest, or the interest is the 4,500 now. So the general formula for to working out simple interest is basically principal times time times rate divided by 100. But you know, you can actually work with this formula, but it's easier if you know the formula for working out each of the time, principal, and then rates. And they are very similar, right? So for example, if I'm trying to work out the rate as we're told to do in this question, the rate is going to be the simple interest times 100 divided by the principal times the time. Or if you're told to work out the principal, then that would just be simple interest times 100. So the simple interest will always be on top, okay? Then times the time times the rate. And if you're also told to work out the time, so you do the same thing. So the time would be simple interest times 100 divided by principal times rate. So that's just the different versions when it comes to answering of the question. So this question is about rates. So therefore, this is going to be the formula that we will use. So this formula is the right formula to use to answer this question. Okay, so let's quickly get the answer. So the rate is going to be the simple interest, which was 4,500. So 4,500 times 100 divided by the principal. What is our principal? Our principal is 45,000. So 45,000 multiplied by the time. And what is our time? Our time is 4 years, as you can see over there, right? Okay, so times 4. So we need to do some cancellations. So first, the first thing you want to do is cancel out the zeros. So these 2 zeros can take out 2 zeros here, right? And then 1 0 can take out 1 0 there. 45 can take out 45. So if you look carefully, what are we left with? R is equal to, in the numerator, we're only left with 10, divided by, in the denominator, we're only left with 4. If you reduce that, that's going to be 5 out of 2, because 2 can divide this, both of them. And this is basically going to be 5 divided by 2 O's with a remainder of 1. So 2.5% or 2.5%. That's the rates. Okay, I hope that is clear. And the option is D. Okay, so finally, the last question on the multiple choice. So the question says that Ada made a profit of 14% on an article she bought for 4,200. How much did she sell the article? So this is a percentage increase question in disguise. Okay, we have the cost price, which is what, 4,200, and we have the what, we have the percentage profit, which is basically what, 14%. So percentage profits is just the same thing as percentage increase. So the original price is the cost price, which is 4,200 naira. So she now wants to get the what? She wants to get we want to work out the selling price. So the selling price is basically going to be the cost price times, remember our percentage video, the percentage questions we did earlier, the percentage questions we solved, we already learned about how to deal with multiplier. So what you can do is you can multiply 14% by 4,200 and then add the answer to 4,200. But for the student that have been following the videos from the beginning, if you go back to percentages, the videos on percentages questions, we already learned that if you want to do percentage increase, you can easily work out the multiplier. And our multiplier, because this is percentage profit, which is percentage increase, our multiplier would just be adding what, the 14% to 100, which gives you 114%, and that is just 1.14. Okay, so therefore our selling price is going to be the cost price, and the cost price is 4,200 times 1.14, right? So what's going to be the answer? So selling price, so these two zeros here can basically move this decimal point 2 steps forward. Okay, these 2 zeros can take out the decimal point here. So therefore, that means we're just going to have 42 times 114. So let's do the calculation somewhere. 114 times 42. So 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 1, 2. 4 times 4, 16. We have 1 carried there. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1, that is 5. And then we have 4. So adding everything together, this is going to be, sorry, I'm running out of space there. So adding everything together, you can also do it. Okay, so adding everything together, what do we have? We have 8, 8, 7, and then 4. So our answer is simply, the selling price is basically 4,788 naira. So that's the selling price. So as simple as that. So if the question had asked you to work out the cost price and you're given the selling price, just remember how we used to do the formula I gave you for the original value is basically the selling price divided by the multiplier. Okay, And that's it. So that's all for the multiple choice. Now let's quickly go on to the theory questions. So without wasting further time, the first theory question here says, find the total, excuse me, we didn't mark the option here. The option is C. Yes. Okay. Now the next one says, find the total amount accrued on 800 Naira for 1 year at a 10% interest rate. This is the past question from 2020. Okay, so find the amount accrued amount. So whenever you hear the word amount, total amount in simple interest, amount just means what? The principal plus what? The simple interest. I like to write this as amount is equal to principal plus interest for short. So in this question, our principal is 800. Our time is 1 year. And then our rate is 10%. So therefore, our simple interest is going to be principal times time times rate, all divided by 100. If this cancel out this, we're just going to have 8 times 1 times 10, which is just going to be 80. So the simple interest is just going to be 80. So therefore, the amount will be the principal, which is 800 Naira, plus the interest, which is 80 Naira. And that gives us what? 880 Naira as the answer. Okay, good one. So finally, the last question says, question number 5, says that the cost of 1 liter of petrol is 1,100 Naira. The cost of 1 liter of petrol is 1,100 Naira. Okay, so that's the cost of 1 liter of petrol. So create a table of values to show the cost of 2 liters, 3 liters, 4 liters, and 6 liters of petrol. Okay, so this is very simple. All you have to do, you have to draw a table. Okay. So this one is going to be the liter of petrol, and then the costs. Okay, I'm going to put the Naira sign there. So we are looking for the cost for what? We have to show the cost for 2 liters of petrol, 3 liters of petrol. Okay, I think I need to make more space because it would be, I need to write the value. So 2 liters of petrol, 3 liters of petrol, 4 liters of petrol, 5 liters of petrol, and then finally 6 liters of petrol. So if 1 liter of petrol, 1 liter is equal to 1,001, then 2 liters will just be 1,100 times 2, which is going to give us 2,200. So this is going to be 2,200. 3 liters would be 1,100 times 3. That's going to be 3,300. So you don't need to put the Naira sign in this anymore because we already put this at the beginning over there. We already have the Naira sign written over here, so we don't need to write it anymore. So this is just going to, this is the 2,200, 3,300. So if you show all your working, 4 liters of petrol, you get 4,400. Show your working in the exam, I encourage you to show all your full workings, 5,500. And of course, the final one, which is the 6 liters of petrol, that's going to give us 6,600. Very simple question. So show your workings like that. Then just write out the numbers in the table. Show your workings so that you can get what? So that you can get your full marks. So this is it, and this is what is expected of you. And after doing this, we are basically done with this questions. Okay, so that's all. And as you already know, Mr. Tawfiq, we always give you your questions to practice. So now it's your turn. It's your turn. And I believe you're going to enjoy this, find these questions very useful, and you're going to enjoy them. So just like I told you earlier, look, this is a question on percentage loss. As if I knew, I didn't even know there was going to be a percentage loss question. So I already gave you the formula previously as we were doing the questions we solved above. To solve this question, 5 people to submit is going to be marked by me, Mr. Tawfiq, myself, and if you're not amongst the first, still submit because, you know, you want to be sure that you did this right. You want to compare. Submit it and then compare your answer. Look at the ones that I've personally marked and compare your answers to them. And we can tell, maybe you might be among the extra lucky ones that will also be marked by me. We never can tell. I wish you the very best in your exam. Keep practicing, keep solving, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.